Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing romance recommendations. So as you guys know, I've done a couple of these videos where I get a bunch of booktubers together and they send me clips and we put together a collaboration video of a bunch of booktubers giving you recommendations for a book of a certain genre. So today, we're going to be doing romance recommendations. I feel like it's very fitting because February is kind of like the month of love with Valentine's Day being in it. And so, yeah, we're going to do that. But I'm going to give a couple of my own romance recommendations first before I show you the clips of all the other booktubers. And all the other booktubers will be mentioned in the comments down below, so you can definitely go check out their channels as well. But anyways, let's jump into my recommendations first, and then we'll do theirs. So I have 4 books here that I think fit really well for romance recommendations. And these are books that I have read, so I wanted to just share my thoughts on them. So the first one is The Lights on Knockbridge Lane. This is a male-male romance set at Christmas, and I just fell in love with this book when I read it this year. I thought it was really cute and just so much fun. So this is following the story of one man who moves back to his hometown with his daughter, and her wish for this year is that she wants to have the house with the most Christmas lights out of all of them. So he decides that he needs to make this happen for his daughter. And lo and behold, he meets his neighbor, Wes, who also kind of like wants to help out. And the two of them kind of start a romance together, and it's really cute. It's a really adorable read. So this is definitely one of my recommendations. I also really love the Silver Linings Playbook. I know this is the movie cover. I did not get the original cover. This was a gift from my mom, but I really loved this movie. And so then I went to read the book because I always find that the book is better than the movie, and the book was better than the movie. Although I do have to say, Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence did an amazing job at playing these characters. This book also deals with mental health, and it's very present in the plot of this story. So essentially, the main character of this book, he gets broken up with by his girlfriend, and it is like really hard on him. He's having a really hard time because the way they broke up is that he like kind of walked in on her cheating on him. So like that would be traumatizing to anybody, really, right? But anyways, so it's him kind of getting through that and moving on in life. And then he also meets this girl who is Jennifer Lawrence's character, and she's also going through a lot of stuff. And so the two of them kind of work together and end up making this deal to be in a dance competition together. And it's just so cute. It's such a good read, and it made my heart warm. I read this on vacation and I just really enjoyed it. So this is another one that's really good. I also strongly recommend like watching the movie if you do read this book, because the movie was really well done. Like it won awards, so it was good. Then we have 5 Feet Apart. I read this book really quickly. I also love this cover, but I think this one was just really cute. It's following 2 teens with cystic fibrosis who are in like the same hospital ward together, and they kind of like fall in love, which is hard because they're both sick with cystic fibrosis. And so they kind of, it works for them because they like get to help each other get through this thing together. But it's also a very like hard-hitting story, and yeah, it's a good one to follow along with. It was a very quick read for me. Like I read this so fast, but I really enjoyed this one. And then my last recommendation is The Sun Is Also a Star. I read this book really quickly as well. Marcus and I actually did this as a buddy read because we wanted to read it together. And this is more falling on the tropes of like insta-love, which I'm normally not a big fan of, but this whole book takes place over the span of only 24 hours. So I thought that was really cool, and I really enjoyed the way they did it. I also really enjoyed one of the side characters in this book, and I was really bummed because this side character never made an appearance in the movie. The movie for this one is also not as great. Like I would strongly recommend the book over the movie for this one, but yeah, it was a really good time. And it's following 2 people who meet in the city of New York on like an off chance encounter and then go from there. So yeah. All right, so those are my recommendations. So now we're going to jump over into the other booktubers' recommendations, and here they are.
My name is Kate, and I am from the channel The Literary Apothecary. I read just about everything, every kind of genre. Today I'm here to talk about one of my favorite contemporary romances, and that is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This was a debut novel written by Ali Hazelwood, and you could not tell. It was written so well. It was cohesive. The romance was a enemies to lovers romance. The characters were just so relatable. I did not go to med school like our main characters, but I went to grad school and I went through a lot of the same types of stresses that our characters went through. I was sucked in immediately. Even the characters that I didn't really like I was still interested to see what happened. I felt like it had a really great balance of plot versus characters. A lot of times, especially in romances, I feel like we just get a heavy dose of character development, but not really plot development. But in the Love Hypothesis, we had kind of an amazing blend of both plot development and character development, and you just fell for the characters. They were so awkward, but yet so relatable. They felt like real people and not just those whimsy, flimsy characters in romance, and felt like a modern day romance that just about anyone could relate to in one way or another. But especially if you're in academia or you've gone through grad school, especially med school, it's just so fantastic. I wanted to reread it instantly after I finished it. So I highly recommend, for a romance book, The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood.
My name is Adriana and this is Trip, and we are the hosts of the YouTube channel Carbon Bonded Books, and today we're going to be telling you about my favorite romance, Lovely War by Julie Berry. This is a story inspired by the entrapment of Aphrodite by her husband Hephaestus in Greek mythology that is used as a framing device in which, in 1940s New York, Aphrodite is caught cheating on her husband Hephaestus with the war god Ares and is entrapped and carried to Mount Olympus to be put on trial for her adultery. In her defense, she tells a story of two young lovers during World War I, and that is the main story we follow through. One thing I find really unique about this book is that, yes, the main story is a World War I love story, but each aspect of the story is told by each god it pertains to. So the love parts are told by Aphrodite, the goddess of love. The parts pertaining to death are told by Hades, the god of death and the underworld, and the parts about the wars and the battles are told by the war god Ares. I loved the framing device of this book. I'm a huge Greek mythology junkie, so that hooked me from the start. And then the love story itself of this young couple in the UK during World War I emotionally wrecked me. I was crying on a plane reading this book, and I love this book. It is a beautifully written story that pulls at the heartstrings and takes place during a time that I don't think gets normally represented in historical romance. As far as I'm aware, I don't know of very many World War I era romance stories, so if that piques your interest or the Greek mythology aspect, I think you will really love this. It is an incredible, incredible book.
Hi, hello, my name is May, and I'm here to give you a dark romance recommendation. If that's not your thing, I'm not your girl. This recommendation is not for you. And also, excuse me, I'm in my pajama. It's midnight, okay? So, dark romance. Though, if you're looking for like cute contemporary romance, I recommend Instant Karma by Marissa Mayer. So, check that out. It melts my cold heart. But anyway, that's not what I'm here for. So, I'm here to recommend this series. I'm not gonna say the name because I promised Eric that I'm not going to curse, just to make his life easier. This series, and the first book is The Risk, and this series is about a serial killer named Lana falls in love with an FBI agent named Logan, who is investigating the murders that she committed. Yes, it's a serial killer romance. And I'm not sorry. Things are going to get very complicated between them. Now, the question is that when he finds out, is he going to be with her or against her? This book is very steamy, okay, because these two have a very busy life. One is busy catching killers, and the other one is busy being a killer. So when they get together, they waste no time and they just If you like dark romance with lots of spice, this series is for you. Though, I have to say it, check content warnings first. You know, lots of adult contents. There are also flashbacks about Lana's past that can be really triggering because it's really graphic. And also, these characters, they have really messed up moral compass. So, read it at your own risk and enjoy.
Hi everyone, I'm Ulf from this channel Scientist Reading World. You may see me sometimes here when Eric does these recommendations, and thank you so much, Eric, for inviting me or for allowing me to do this collaboration, because I love, and each time that I see those videos I get like tons of books to add on my TBR, so it's very good because we all have different tastes. So for romance, I'm not the biggest romance reader, but sometimes I like, because a boy has to do some feelings and have to feel something. So my recommendation for you is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This was my first LGBTQ book that I ever read. It was one of the first heavy romance that I read, and I loved it. It's about Alex and Henry. Alex is the son of the female president of the United States, and Henry is the prince of England. It's a different timeline, but they start as a little bit of enemies to lovers, but I think it's perfectly described as friends to lovers. And yeah, it's a very cute romance, very adult. It has some adult themes and adult content, but I love the character, I love the representation, I love how a little bit smart mouth or such Alex just spoke and everything comes wrong with him because he doesn't think, or he just thinks after. So it's very funny, and Harry is just a cinnamon roll, and I love. So if you like a little bit of royalty, a little bit of famous, but a very cozy, but also it's not dark, but heavy romance, this is a perfect recommendation for you. Thank you so much, Eric, for inviting me, and I'm very excited to see the rest of the recommendation.
Hey everyone, my name is Kim, and I am from Bookmarks and Breadsticks. Thank you so much, Eric, for having me as part of your collaborative video. If you're new to me and my channel, I talk about everything in food books, whether that's food writing and nonfiction, or more recently, my new love of food in fiction, especially food in rom-coms and romance books. So I have 3 recommendations for you. If you are looking for a little bit of romance with a little bit of something delicious, 3 books that you have to put on your TBR. The first is a new publication from October 2021, which is Do Not Fall in Love by Jackie Lau. So this book takes place in Toronto with 2 Korean-Canadian protagonists. Ryan Kwok is a Hollywood star with a new romantic comedy that's not doing too great in the market, and our female protagonist is the owner of the donut shop named Lindsay. The 2 of these quite literally meet by crashing into each other over a tray of donuts, and Ryan hires Lindsay to help him prepare for a Netflix-inspired baking competition very similar to the idea of Nailed It, but he doesn't quite want to make a fool of himself. These 2 grow closer as they both also work through their grief of losing a parent. Super delicious, super fun romance. My second recommendation is The Summer Job by Lizzie Dent, and this is all about our protagonist Birdie, who decides, after a string of losing many jobs, decides that she is going to impersonate her best friend, Heather. Heather has ditched a summer gig at a hotel in the Scottish Highlands to follow her true love. Birdie decides to impersonate her and be a wine sommelier for the summer. The problem is, Birdie doesn't know a damn thing about wine, and there will be some romance along the way. This is heavy on the comedy. I really enjoy Birdie's self-discovery and journey to improve herself, and the romance is super, I'd say more of a, not fade to black exactly, but much more of a sweet romance. My final recommendation is for those of you out there that are huge fans of the Great British Baking Show, and that is Rosaline Palmer Takes the Cake by Alexis Hall. Alexis Hall is the author of the very well-known Boyfriend Project. This is all about our title character, Rosaline Palmer. Rosaline Palmer is a bisexual single mother who has just made her way onto a new cooking competition, and it is all about whether or not she's going to bake her pants off and make it to the finals. She needs this money to restart her career and give her precocious daughter the life she thinks she deserves. And along the way, she has not one, but two different romances. And this actually has a very healthy relationship with her ex-girlfriend, who is a large part of not only Rosaline's life, but also her daughter's life. I really loved this book. It's a little on the longer side, but you will just fly through the pages. So there you go, 3 different recommendations of foodie romance books. And if you're looking for more, head over to my channel or take a look at the Read It and Eat blind date with a book boxes. Thanks, Eric.
And that's it for all the romance recommendations that we have for you today. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other romance recommendations that you would recommend, or if you really liked any of these recommendations, and just like let me know your thoughts on them. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Ko-fi page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as linked by my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.